EG needed to come out of the gate swinging, and that is exactly what they did. A 13-2 win for EG on their pick of Lotus. Now sets us up for a map 2 where EG could potentially find themselves walking away with a sweep. I'm Golden Boy, of course, joined by Sideshow and Benita here once again. And
what's going on? There's no bananas. They're missing out on it. Where was the bananas? They're going to end up losing this series unless they get some bananas in.
I think that we've determined that maybe the banana meta works for 100 Thieves. Maybe it doesn't work for every team.
Okay.
You know, but Josh, maybe next time you just run out there like a madman, just give them a bunch of bananas. I don't see what's wrong.
Just go out with a bunch of them.
Yeah, man, live your life. I'm your friend. I support you. Okay, well, let's go ahead and break down what we just saw in that last game. And Benita, we were talking about this on the desk. We needed to see EG come out with force, and that is exactly what they did. I mean, you can even see the track there. They didn't drop, 7 rounds before they finally gave one up.
Yeah, I think that's what a breach can do for you. It just, that force, you know, there's so much util. It'll help your jet set up properly. It'll get you the proper, lines.
Yeah.
And then there's triple bomb sites, so you can rotate properly as well. So I really value a breach.
And what is, yeah, and I guess also in talking about that a little bit more, right? Like, what does those initiators, what do they do to really set you up on site? Because obviously it's about just really providing opportunity for your teammates.
Yeah, we have Demon 1 with an op, so you just can get a fault line down any lane and he could get posted on it, and then you just simply rotate. There's a lot of value in having a really good breach and jet combo.
Yeah.
As well as the sky can get you so much info with the flashes and the dog. I think it's really, really important with a map that has 3 bomb sites.
Wow, and 5.0 KDA for comm, my guy was frying.
Yeah. Listen, I see the little highlight reel that you put together for the comp.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask because you were very against the EG composition,
I still
Josh.
hate the comp.
You hate the comp despite the 13-2.
I hate the comp. Okay. Non-Viper comp, so 1 and 3 at the moment in Americas. If you combine that with the EMEA, that ends up being 3 and 10. So winning only 3 out of 13 without a Viper. And listen, I put together my own highlight reel of showing the impact that the Viper can get.
Yeah.
So this is Murray's, and this is...
It's actually a sick kill.
This is him going crazy.
Yeah.
This is him with the Viper utility.
Yep. On site, by the way.
These unfortunately are all of the kills that he got in the map.
Wait, you serious?
Yeah, we managed to get all of the kills together in that. But
how does that illustrate Viper effectiveness?
Well, it doesn't really, does it? It doesn't really. I mean, I still think the Viper's a better comp, but listen, sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes it just doesn't matter.
Oh, God, I miss you.
Sometimes you get 213.
Yeah, sometimes you do. Oh, Josh, I miss you so much. It's just good.
The hard-hitting analysis.
It's good to have you back. Before, though, we get to map 2, let's swing over to our Aim Lab shoot-around. This time around, we're going to check out Chosen. Yeah, that's right. He's new here, so we wanted to make sure we got our money's worth. And Chosen is just going to click some bubbles. But while this is happening, though, this gives us an opportunity, though, Josh, to talk about MiBR. I know, jokes aside, some of the struggles that they were having. And I think, Riven and Silly were really, really on the nose about this and pointing out how, it really felt like EG has a plan each and every round. MiBR, they're floundering out there, bud.
Well, maybe listen, for MiBR, this looks like they're on the ropes, about to go out of playoffs, and listen, to come back at this point and make playoffs,
it's hard.
It'd just be a miracle. So I'm going to discount that. But listen, you're looking forward to NALCQ. You know that you're going to be in there. You know that you're going to be fighting for one of those champion spots. I think you're looking towards teams like EG that have kind of paved the way for you to make this redemption, recovery arc, improvement over the course of multiple weeks. What do you have that you can improve on? What base foundation do you have to work on? And to be honest, that's what I'm looking for in this game. What is even the starting point for MiBR in order to start those building blocks, building into something, so that when we get to LCQ, they've got anything behind them? Because man, oh man, this team is looking utterly flaccid compared to the beginning of the split.
I couldn't agree more. And Benita, we're getting ready for Fracture here. We saw earlier the Neon pick not necessarily working out as well. I'm assuming we're going to get more of a standard, kind of play here. But yeah, to Josh's point, where does that success come? Who are you looking for, if there even is a player to highlight on that?
I mean, I think for this Fracture map, it's gonna be easier for MiBR with the sub, and it's one of those maps where you can just take it and run, you know? Like you get what you get and you just run with it. And you can, for sure you can get like some rounds easily.
I've tried pugging this map and playing it in ranked and stuff. It can be a disaster though as well if you don't have a good game plan.
It could be, but they have the Sova, and I think they're going to be ready for the Sova because they've been running that.
Com's been running the Sova a lot. I really like what he does on this map. Nobody else is really doing it. Yeah. He's got some extremely nerdy stuff, shock dart lineups, recon darts that people are normally not quite aware of. Yeah. Honestly, GB, what I'm looking to in this map, I think there's a chance that EG gets a 13-0 to counter the 13-0
You are off the goop.
I'm not gooping. Listen,
off the goop.
MiBR picked Lotus, and that map was absolutely dominant. So,
I'm not saying it's not possible. Look, I'm a big EG fan, like super EG stan here, and I would love for that to happen. What an arc it would be.
It would be incredible.
But I just can't see. I thought if it was going to happen, it would have happened on Lotus because of the way that they were playing. But hey, anything is possible here. We'll see if we're going to get a map 3 or does EG close it out right here, right now. We're sending it right back over to our casters. And of course, we got Vansili and Riv.
Thank you, GB, Sideshow, and Benita. And yes, of course, I want to lean towards the other side, that anything could happen, that MiBR could pull this back on EG's mapping here on Fracture. We've seen some comp changes going into at least this lineup for MiBR.
Hey, man, TAC FPS can be very swingy. Usually that's on the same map, not from map to map. But you know what? I like it. I'm there. So there's 3 people with the egg right now, ready for this result. Let's get a map 3 in here anyways. We're on Fracture right now with Evil Geniuses versus MiBR. A loss here will knock MiBR to contention. Like Sideshow said, it's going to be quite a growth story if they're able to do it, but EG already on that docket, ready to run for these playoffs. They're ready to get that round differential on a map too. They are on defense to start, so we put the ball in the hands of MiBR. And allowing the map to be pushed if possible. MiBR is going to have a full 5-stack here towards Halls. And a drone. Okay, stopped only seeing 1.
Yep. EG pretty much doing their same pistol round, that one player towards the A side, get information, play the retake, potentially even a push up towards the north side. And there's that shock dart to come in. Delays to try to at least prevent MiBR to push in towards the spawn. And everything's coming accordance to play and according to plan for EG as MiBR is setting up here for the pulse plant.
Here comes the best defensive pistol round in the league. Can they do it again? Evil Genius is ready to hit this retake. Ooh. Great utility. This is what we wanted from MiBR in map 1. Push the spawn. Do not let the retake happen.
And don't allow Com to get the recon dart for the retake, but they're closing in onto the top of the rafters, so Com could still get a timing. Meanwhile, though, EG are moving into the drop.
Okay,
that's a couple of trade-offs, and we're fighting inside the smoke. There's Com, and a stun onto 1 at least. Still a 2 versus 1 advantage for EG. JZZ makes it a 1 versus 1. Ethan's low on HP, and JZZ comes in for the kill. The Red Bull clutch, and finally, a pistol round coming in for Made in Brazil.
Defying the stats. Made in Brazil feeling good on that, and it's a kill round. Trades were coming in, right? They got in there and they got in the face of Evil Geniuses. An absolute turnaround from map 1 to now, and we're seeing the confidence push through a bit. It's got to be a full map of it, though. We're asking for more. Great job by the team to continue pushing here. And I really like the play in the beginning. They only showed the killjoy, and then you noticed that was actually a quick jump out. Chosen made 2 jump away steps while the team was walking in. So they were trying to give false audio cues, get themselves closer by playing with the minds of EG, and then not allowing the retake in the end. Here towards B, a lot of space taken by MiBR already.
Fall line for a full push. Underpass and up towards tree. It's a 1-for-1. Boostio's at 3 HP. Still trying to do a bit more recon damage if it can. Close range moving in. Spectre now picked up by Joggimo. Boombot moving through. As far as he's stuck in a corner, pushing away with the aftershock. Forces Joggimo to just hold his corner for now. But through the smoke, here comes the play. Joggimo from the top of the ropes. And EG turns it over. 2 versus 2. Low HP here on Boostio, but Joggimo still chasing forward against a low Chosen.
9 bullets.
Chosen 1 on a swing out, and it's a 2v1 with the spike down, and Maurice was on a late lurk out on an island.
He's got more health than both of them.
We'll catch them.
Seize and Prowler available. Alarm bot 2. just for EG to
I have
react.
the spike.
It's going to be Jogamo first, Boostio swing. They want to keep Boostio up so he will not be first contact with
30
OHP.
seconds left.
Patience play. Forcing
Oh.
now Mooney aiming down the side. There's the first kill. He gets in a peek! And another 2 versus
even
1 that comes in favor of MiBR.
Oh,
Their heart rate just
Maurice
went up.
with the mind games. Beautifully done. The backstep fade away while still checking the corner. Right at the perfect height. Drops 1, drops 2 like it's nothing. And Evil Geniuses, they pulled out a stun MiBR strat, right? Not breach stun, but
remaining.
push into their face. FRZ looked like he was in a nightmare behind that box at tree. You see Bazooka feeling it right now with the team. Much different start here for MiBR. And now the bonus. It's going to be a tough one with all those members going down. The buy is very low. So if EG play this one pretty steady, it should be the first round going to them here.
Yeah, that's a big plus. Silver lining for Evil Geniuses, keeping the economy low for MiBR, who are looking for this pressure, taking the opportunity of collecting more orbs, just making sure that if this is going to be a round that they lose here, that into their next gun round, they have lots of ults to work with.
All right, the 4-1. Slow work, contact arcade. As I just watch the flanks here. And EG's pushed up A-halls, right? So this, they know they can be pretty sure about what's happening over here at the B site. The rotation coming in for Com right now.
Easy kill there for Busio, swinging off the contact of the turret. Countering back here with a fault line on the attack. MiBR are moving up to try to take control of Heaven. Whoa! On a different level. Reload for a 4th kill. Into the round and is looking for the ace. And it gets stolen by Ethan. Ethan, how can you do this?
Oh my
There
gosh.
we go. Finally.
Calling the shots, making the shots. Doesn't really matter to him. Flowing right now. 1 off the lockdown. 1 off ultimate for RGL as well. We may see a bit of orb focus here coming into round 4 for both teams, but we expected that round to be EG's due to the low buy. Now the MiBR is back on those guns. What can they produce here? Looks like they won't try to get a push on north or south side. They're just going to allow MiBR to start their movement on the map. I think EG, with what they do, now positioning Com more towards where you would put a breach at ladder or rope rather, they can just drone A instead of have what was Dogamo playing in that area. So switching up how they're detecting, how they're seeing what MiBR is going to do with that initiator utility.
Off your feet!
And beautifully positioned out of sight to not get hit by the Rolling Thunder. EG ready to defend.
Yeah, EG okay with that because Jogamo had that showstopper. Connects right at the GZZ, making it a little bit harder for MiBR to move into the B site for a plant. And Jogamo just continues to anchor on the top of Heaven.
Oh my.
Everything's being shut down. Chosen no opportunity to help the team. Had to stay by the turret to make sure nobody was flanking towards Dish. And wishing that his teammates did a little bit more here to at least make a clutch possible. But it's definitely looking here now that MiBR will be trying to save their last weapon. As EG, not looking for the chase yet, not looking for the kill.
30 seconds left.
But no matter what, it is going to be the round for the defender side.
Talked a little bit about, I think it was like week 4 or something when we had an EG game, that a lot of what they were showing didn't look like they understood the state of the game when they were trying to play towards a
seconds
quick
left.
play when the other team had a Sage res, and they would send one person to kind of do a little bit of a fake but lose that person in the trade and not realize the other team could res, or a few other things that they could easily be countered by their opponent. Here, the setup on not getting hit by the Rolling Thunder, being able to retake the site and know that the showstopper would be the counter answer. Actually hit by it still and gets out. I thought he was on the edge and he didn't get hit. So Jogamo still forcing through that with a headache, and he gets the showstopper kill with the blast pack movement. Really great stuff. That ultimate for RGL Meister is ready, but when do they get to the site now, Vans? When do they get that spike down? Does this become a microwave of tower so they can get in with that orbital strike?
Yeah.
A lot of different questions have to be asked here where the utility is going to be used for MiBR, since they're not making it for that plant. Here the spike's down, so we actually see them trying to work out a lot of EG's utility to make that take a little bit easier. so they can get farther, especially on this low buy. A big Vandal on top, Chosen rather.
MiBR knew that they could play the A side a little bit more slowly because they threw the haunt out towards tree.
Yeah.
Knowing nobody was going to flank as of yet. The pressure came in towards the A-halls instead. As yes, we did get a combination, a trap play out for EG. We still pull back, so a good thing here for MiBR is that we wasted a lot of that utility on the A-hole.
Right
and you
there.
talked about here the orbital strike. Yes, it is a lower buy here for MiBR, but if they close in for a right timing into the A site, this could be very punishing on EG.
You get enough of an advantage, and you could easily tip the hand to use that orbital strike on this low buy round. Chocobo right in their face. This A-Hall's control again, slowing down MiBR. And EG sure about that pressure.
Oh yeah, that's gonna guarantee now. The orbital strike not coming out yet because the last two players are with pistols.
Spike down A.
Salvaged weapon, 9 HP left, door opens, and Demon 1 doesn't allow FRZ to get any clutches available this time around for MiBR.
I feel like EG knows exactly kind of what happened in those first few rounds. You lose pistol, you're going to lose a few, right? But now they have kind of shored that up and keeping a lot of players alive throughout these rounds. They're mounting the economy comeback. And right now in the lead with that one round. This is nice from MiBR. Flexing the players a little bit more. Now they can support Chosen on the bottom side here and not just have to use a turret so they don't know A-Hall's pressure is coming in. I think that's what they have RGL Meister figuring out now is Arcade is the pressure and they're getting it right back.
This is read here by EG. One of the basic plays right now from throwing a haunt, from having a fade in your composition is throwing that haunt for Arcade and at that pressure. And look at EG. A recon dart with some pressure going into the Arcade to fight back. And thankfully, there was a smoke that was laid down here to allow MiBR to manage to get out of it, escape unscathed. Until this happens, pressure down towards tree as Chosen falls, followed by RGL.
And the follow-up. Both players down on tree, ready to follow up on that Rolling Thunder as they hear a little bit of Arcade noise and get ready to prep this defense. Still 3 there for MiBR. The trades can happen, but getting it to site the plant is the tall task.
This could be huge. Oh, util in hand. And Demon 1 gets the kill into JZZ. FRZ somehow full stun, still manages to get 2. As only one player separates the round from both of these teams. It's EG at the advantage.
MiBR drained on util right now. The shots have to ring out for them. And again, EG's playing that left. You won't see us until you push far enough positioning.
You push far enough for these trades to happen, though. There was a moment where I saw where it could have happened. The person playing towards B, Heaven, was so close to JZZ. One kill coming through from JZZ was a showstopper available for the B site. But now, unfortunately, we had a different story. MiBR gets shut down towards the B site. And even with the ultimates now, it is a lure buy for the attack. But it's a stinger buy. So there's an opportunity to still run around all of this, try to salvage these rounds. This upcoming round, at least, for the Brazilian team.
That's set up all on the south side once again. This is a lot like a little bit of the pistol round we saw. First and second round from EG to get A-Hall's control. I'm sorry, bonus round. My brain melts. And they're in. Nightfall comes out. This is gonna have to be a big push.
Lots of delays. They don't care. Joggimo, Marty kill with the paint shells left behind. Orbital strike then onto the defense, and EG shuts it down. We don't care about Nightfall from MiBR here. If you're playing EG, they were just fighting back with the util.
That's a team that death matches with music on, Van Silly.
Yeah.
They don't. This is all vision.
Mini Trents.
Yeah. 5-2 here. Evil Genius is looking to shut down the amount of rounds that MiBR can get. That 2. And they know about last map for that, so they're trying to get just a little bit more, get that pressure, see if they can get this to an even first. I think Sideshow might be out of luck on the swing map. Just saying. I don't know if that's gonna happen right now. A lot of these rounds, you see that one defuse on round 4. You don't see it, it's on our screens, but the one defuse on round 4, and then just gun round after gun round after gun round, taking out all 5 members of MiBR, meaning MiBR is not reaching the site. They're not getting their strategies online. I swear EG is playing a 40 seconds no rush. You don't get to rush. 40, okay, after 40 seconds, we may not have the util, but to be stopped at the beginning of your strat every time means you need an audible. And that's such a hard way to play for MiBR.
I love that here in the audience, we have big fans here, not only for EG, but for Coach Potter. Louder to see Potter on camera than to see the performances of EG that they're currently putting against MiBR. Maybe we're gonna need a lot of more of these Potter shots.
She has prepared this team, showing us what they have now. And honestly, it seems like everybody's doing the work now that this has come to fruition, right? If Calm's not having a day, the rest of the team picks it up. And that's the other way around. That's not even to point out Calm. The darts that he uses on this map that Des talked about are really neat. And also, yeah, prepare. This is going to be a big round.
We are fighting and a turret gets a kill. Rolling Thunder on the attack, answered back by Paint Shell, so there's no action that you could pull out here from the MiBR to follow up behind the Rolling Thunder. That was chaotic to start things off.
That was wild. Alt after alt. Just look how many drained alts on the screen right now. Oh my word. All right, in the iPad, ready for more smokes. Second strategy, again, the audible has to be called. A-Halls was not taken, and MiBR is forced now to come up with something else. Still have great control of the map, at least on that south side. And it hasn't been gained by Evil Geniuses, so this is really... the timing is crazy, and he sees both. So they know that initiator utility is in the same spot. You're not going to do much without that. So they can really guess what's going to happen on this strategy right now.
Yep, the nerdy utility here from Calm.
Jeez.
Continues to be very good here from the first map into the second one. Recon Dart available for retakes here as he's still holding up towards A Heaven. MiBR looking to fall
30
back.
seconds left.
With the last players remaining, potentially move into the site with this lockdown available on Chosen, but he's so far behind.
This is one of the times, one of the first times we see Boostio now over at A with his utility. It's been a big B setup.
Okay, the hot gets him. This is going to be a tough spot here for Boostio. Getting seized, but still gets one before he falls. 6 seconds left on the clock. Calm has even a Hunter's Fury. There's no way you're going to get the plat down. There's no way you get the round. There's no time left even on top of that. So you get to save the Hunter's Fury into the next round. Doesn't matter for these kills. Yeah, you get the confidence for a bit, but the round still comes in for the Evil Geniuses.
Slowing MiBR at every corner. What is the answer, right? They've tried the top side of the map. I think we haven't seen any satellite play from MiBR, a waterfall into sight with Sands and A-Halls play, or A-Main rather. Here, it's actually going to be the solo play by Maurice. Normally on the Viper and on most maps, definitely knows the lurk play. And it looks like he's going to try to be a little bit of trouble on the other side of the map. This is that first satellite, right?
Yep.
You hear the haunt. You're expecting initiators to be in the front of the team and the follow to be there. And EG is now pushed off their starting positions here with a great walk towards B and numbers up. This could be a comeback round, Vance.
Yeah. EG actually may be overthinking that round. You saw the combination to take control of Arcade when there was nobody there. They fall back, and the Allen Drone already spotted 4 players for MiBR out towards straight. Make that even 3 players, sorry. But with that, though, Calm's playing the off angle towards the B site. Smoke to come up. There's a share sticking out from FRZ. The spray through the smoke. The combination's there for the support.
That second hit on RGL.
Yeah, it's just going to make it very difficult now for...
Oh, yeah.
At least these 2 riflers from MiBR to try to turn around back in their favor. And already we've lost one of those rifles.
Last player standing.
Remember these kills through the smoke? This was actually EG against Sentinels last week, where it was EG's story on his very map, sticking on spikes, getting kills through smokes. MiBR had to do something to counteract upon what they saw from the performances of the Evil Geniuses with the dominating victory they had over Sentinels last week.
Jogabo now 12-6, bringing a lot of that power to the team, and you're not losing any of that power. You see Jogamo on Harbor, back onto Raze, Harbor, switch it like it's the same thing for him. He's still fragging out, and we've seen a lot from Jogamo in the recent weeks. Showstopper offline, as we just saw that a few ago. And here, Evil Geniuses again pressuring a side of the map, getting important information on MiBR and force Chosen right away from that top side. Wow, they're rotating fast, Vancilli.
Yeah.
Like, they're gone. It's going to be Maurice with a big flank here, and I don't know if this could be a really big point in the round.
But they're still holding here. It looked like we were leaning back for the rotate towards the A side, but as it stays quiet, look at Jogamo and Calm still holding here towards spawn, making sure these lurks don't happen.
What good map movement by MiBR.
Jogamo still in a position to watch the crossover, though. Now, as the footsteps are going to get heard, there is the smokes coming down. The satchel's coming in. The smokes were deep, though. Jogamo had an opportunity to get a pick off the cross. And Maurice is trying to get a timing. Big flash, but the aftershock doesn't allow for him to move forward. So a little bit of a miscomm here for the attack. Calm out with the Hunter's Fury. Yeah, connects onto one, but the wrong person. So advantage for MiBR on the post plant.
Yeah, they
Lockdown's available from both ends.
finally give Jogamo his first death, but they're still going.
That second one, JZZ and
One enemy
FRZ.
remaining.
And Calm's now the last player standing. Locked down for the retake. Yeah, it's maybe gonna detain one player, and that's gonna be FRZ at the underpass. But meanwhile, though, still a 5-on-1. Looking to make it expensive at least. EG does have the economy to work with, while on the other end, MiBR doesn't. But there's Nano Swarm still, does get the first kill. That should pop out the Nano Swarm soon, if not the double swing.
Yeah.
And that's MiBR with the round.
7-3, 7-5, looking pretty good if they can capitalize on these last few rounds.
Yeah.
And that was such a nice strat to play the majority towards A. It's what they've been doing. It's almost like MiBR hasn't known their conditioning
Enemy remaining.
EG until that. Now I think MiBR is like, oh, actually our fakes are pretty effective against EG due to how this match has gone. So they can start flexing with that now. Where will Maurice go next? It's 2 rounds in a row we saw him take north side by himself. Actually, that was the second one was south to north, but yeah, really, really effective with that small lurk. And Maurice, under that arcade area, can hear all the rotations going back into spawn. So the audio cues are how they're getting under the skin of EG in these past few rounds. We want chaos too. This one's been slow.
I actually love that we have waves going on here in the Riot Games Arena. Thankfully here, nobody in the crowd is a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays, because if you're actually doing the wave here in the Rogers Stadium, they usually lose.
Oh my God.
We have a lot of EG fans in here too, so we don't want to curse them.
A quick timeout being called. So we get back into this one. Potter not liking the way that EG was approaching the last few rounds. Buying a little too much on those fakes, as we said. So leaving an anchor in sight, I think, was one of the main goals of that timeout. Don't everybody rotate. That's kind of like rule number 1. Not until you have the spike in sight and planted. All right. Now this satellite play, once again, remember, this was a Maurice lurk last time. Now he's got RGL Meister on the bottom side of the map.
And this is new here from Boostu into this map. The flash puts him away. That's a nice little read here. As the upshot misses. And the alarm but's also going to push MiBR away to allow Boostu to reposition inside Sands.
Gotta love the Boostio up. Keeping it up. We don't see it very much, but it is a key factor here. And comes out after the timeout.
Ooh, it was close, but it closed in onto Sands for MiBR. Still becomes a trade-off for both teams. A delay off the Rolling Thunder on the defensive side. So that puts Ethan by himself inside there. Locked down to come out. Looking to pressure back and fight back inside Sands. And finally, we decide otherwise. Demon 1 was trying to get a timing onto Maurice. Plays the patient game. Close range now. Recon Dart gets the ping, and Ethan, miscommunication there. Just got backstabbed by RGL. This becomes now a plant for MiBR. And Demon 1 and Calm looking for the retake, if possible.
It's taking so much for MiBR to get into these sites. They didn't lose a lot, but it takes the team following through. We see what it means taking out so many members of EG in those trades. They have the cooperation. It's just if they have the upper hand on EG, there's a trade quick too.
Yeah.
3v1.
Fundamentals are perfect for MiBR.
Right.
A trade off the swing, the ping pong on both ends from Sands and also from the drop in spawn.
Yeah.
Last round in the half.
And to build off of what I just said, with MiBR having to work a little bit harder here, it's been a few years since professional play for JZZ on Arrays. We see the blast packs are not Jogamo blast packs, right?
Yep.
That was a 1 blast pack into the site just sideways. It's It's not creating that much chaos, but it is creating the entry that MiBR needs. That entry is incredibly important because nobody else on this team can do it. Unless Maurice gets the perfect lurk and they can walk into sight. So JZZ being down here on the bottom doesn't matter. He's doing his job and MiBR is benefiting from it.
Bomb buddy out.
And this time, EG is looking to pressure out towards Arcade. Going to break that turret. And you saw the rappel going back towards the A side, and that allows this early rotate from EG towards A. Meanwhile, though, for MiBR, looking to explode because you do have the Rolling Thunder and the Orbital Strike to work with. Contact play instead. Nice little recon and an Yellow drone to get the ping, but couldn't get the kill. There is that Rolling Thunder to push them back, but that pressure and rotation is still coming in for EG on the drop as GZZ moves forward for the first one, tries to escape, but it gets traded off by Ethan.
4v4 calm is low as the spike goes down. Quite a bit of util to come back into the site, but fault line is not up. Just the haunt.
Aftershock looking to be set up as well with the stun, allowing Busio to get the kill coming out from the spawn. But this is all fun and games until MiBR just playing this very passively. The lineup here with the Molly, Orbital Strike available too. And it's up to EG to push forward and fight back. It works out for a bit. There's
the
that
lineup.
Molly soaring through. I think
He's good.
It missed.
It doesn't hit.
Doesn't matter. Demon1 still gets the 2 kills. And that's EG with the fuse. 8-4 to end the half.
I think it's pretty unacceptable to hit lineups. We miss lineups, so we can talk about that later. 8-4, a great comeback though by MiBR from what we saw from first map to now. 4, they needed as many as they could get.
Yeah, and that's maybe one of those mistakes there you see from MiBR. We talked about the different roles that they may have to play. Yes, RGL still playing controller no matter what, but you still have to try to work some sort of synergy rather. And Wari getting pushed in by EG's high pressure retake game onto the A-halls. It makes it difficult right there. And with that, let's throw it to the floor here where Bala is standing down with 2 of my favorite people from the Game Changer scene. It's Evil Geniuses, Coach Jovi, and pro player Soliana.
Thank you so much, Vansili. Yeah, I'm here with Soliana and Jovi, coach of EG, player for EG Game Changers as well. First thing I want to ask Soliana, you obviously just played Game Changers. You have 2 more series to go. I want to know, like in the off season, obviously that first series didn't go quite as you guys planned. What are you guys working on?
We just came back from our break, so we've been working more in the theory because we were like 3 weeks off. So just going back slowly to the game and working on some new comps, new strats, and
nice.
Maybe seeing some geckos. I don't know. Let's see. Little bro. Sorry.
Coach Irish.
Sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, cool. You guys obviously are actually here in LA. I wanted to ask like how it's been boot camping with the EG team and the reserve team all out here together.
Oh, it's actually been very, very awesome. Like we have the reserve team that we can always turn to with any kind of like scrims and kind of like drills that I want to run. We have the main team too that we can bounce off ideas. Like it's been very beneficial for, I think, for all 3 of us in general.
Yeah, awesome. And you've been an assistant coach for a couple of a title team in Optic, obviously 100 Thieves as well. I wanted to ask, just like because we have legendary Coach Potter for EG.
Yeah.
What kind of impact does a coach bring to the team? How can they impact the players?
So, I mean, the coach does all the work outside of the match, prepping them to make sure, hey, be on the lookout of certain things, make sure the fundamentals are there, the way you can read the game, see what's happening and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they bring it into the server. That's their job now.
This guy is the soul of our team.
Yeah.
So the coaches do like a lot. I know sometimes you only see the players and they're like in the action, but Jovi's work like outside of the server, like
I know he's a big
day
brain
by
lineup
day,
guy.
he's like amazing. Like, yeah,
Cool.
I can stress that
And
enough.
Soliana, I want to ask you because you're actually from Brazil. Here in Americas League, we've kind of merged the two. Who are you rooting for, real quick?
You're trying to put me in a tough spot. No, just kidding. Of course, I love to see like the Brazilians on top. Like, I'm really happy to see Loud winning.
Yeah.
And I wanted like, I'm happy seeing the Brazilians winning. But today, I know how important it is to EG making it to playoffs. So of course, I'm rooting for EG today. But yeah, as a Brazilian.
Awesome. Thank you so
but as
much.
a Brazilian, of course, I'm always happy to see the Brazilians winning.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this interview. I'm going to send it back up to Riv and Vansili for the cast.
Thank you so much, Bala and Riv. I don't know if I was getting blinded by Sky's flash or by Jovi's watch there, because that thing was blingy and shiny. But let's get back into the game here. 8-4 for EG against MiBR. I think it's time to finally turn into a new chapter of this script here between these two teams for this game, because MiBR, they finally found some sort of solution here on their attack. And hopefully they could do something here on their defense as they start off the pistol.
And that's what the devs talked about, a foundation, something that we can see the team build off of to look towards the future, to look towards these rounds and make them look solid up on the Jenny. Okay, just a nade from JZZ. Good defensive start here. First kill to JZZ on pistol.
That's why it's called a ghost. Blank bullets, but at least gets the kill with the paint shells to get the early advantage for MiBR. Nonetheless, though, Evil Genius is still moving inside the A site for a plant.
Quick dodge out.
Yeah, got the delayed here. Nice util coming out for MiBR.
I would be scared to plant now. Your Demon One has to get this one smoke down. Maybe Canteen? No, they choose to just do it, Jenny. Cover Canteen on the plant, but can he get to box to make this happen? That'd be the safe one.
Right here.
Just creeping out. Faking the plant to pull them out of their positions.
Last player standing.
Combo's looking for a play.
Spike down.
We're also looking for the double swing off the tap of the spike. But this is looking to be a very strong pistol. MiBR with another one. Both of them into this map again. Think about it. Before we got into this game, into this map, MiBR had the worst stats in terms of pistol rounds, and that's a great way to start things off here on Fracture.
And EG having great stats, right? The best defensive pistol round team in the league. But yeah, attack still very good. Not that time against MiBR. What a hit. JZZ really shutting down the first one with a scrap.
Paint shells?
Shells? Paint shells, thank you.
I got you. I got you.
My brain just did not brain. Here we are, though, a big north side strat from EG4 starting off towards the satellite spot. But wait, it's actually going to be a few ready. Oh, man.
That's just too much utility.
What a
Darkmouse somehow
play.
still stays alive now. Holding close range, trying to get the right click classic. Actually, the Haunt doesn't spot him, so this could allow for the swing to come out. There's that 1 for 1 and the 2 for 2. So that's actually not too bad here on the lower buy that you have for Evil Geniuses. Weapons will get picked up until Maurice is looking for maybe a timing. Here's the reload, the tap onto the orb, and the 1v1. Still won here by Ethan. That's actually a Vandal that was dropped by MiBR, and a big advantage to do something with this.
That's a worry, especially when you put the Vandal out crouching to just spray at the opening of Satellite. A bit of a mistake there to give up that weapon, thinking it could be traded by what was going to be coming in through FRZ. EG now know they can play this very slow. Who's going to peek us, right? They have the util, and they have the protection from the Sentinel of Boostio, so... Whoop. Nice juggle. And they allow Boostio to do the first peeks here as Ethan's going to be that initiator to follow up behind.
Mini Bogdan's Law, getting that Vandal over to the one with more HP, and you've mentioned it, the util is good for both of these players, actually, for both teams. So it comes down now to the util that could potentially be found left behind by Chosen, and what we could open up here for EG for the post plant.
This works so well. Staking is 2. They do not go up into the rope room, into tower, so they're protected into sight. This may actually bite them in the butt, though, if they try to check it late. Boostio could get pretty hurt here.
Placing swarm grenade.
Okay, double nano swarms.
Okay, he's good.
Even has his alarm bot that get placed behind as soon as the nano's done. Peeks instead. Still gets a shot, though, on the Chosen. A 2 versus 1. And this could be bad news bears now for RGL. But another opportunity for a clutch.
Thrifty.
Not gonna happen, though, as Ethan swings out. No.
That's the worst thing that could have happened, Vancilli. That's the worst thing for MiBR that could have happened. EG smiling ear to ear after that round. 4 towards Satellite, and they get the counterplay from MiBR, which actually has a hole in it. They didn't peek together. The flash came late. An EG profit off of Vandal that turns this into a second round win.
Thrifty.
Thrifty indeed. That is some hype coming from Boostio right now. And Potter very, very happy as always.
And the fans of EG, of course.
Oh, there's 2 quick ones, Ethan.
Yeah, we're trying to go for a trap play with the low eco that we have for MiBR, but that's going to be more kills, more orbs being picked up by Ethan, who already has the Rolling Thunder available into the next round. or this round should he want to use it now. But so
3?
far, a Phantom and Smokes is going to be good enough.
Ethan just, I don't know what it is about Fracture and Ethan, but he just starts going off.
He fries.
He does fry indeed. 1 minute left on this round, so a lot of time to work, but EG want to go now. They want to pressure those 3 kills down, knowing it's only Sheriffs on the other side.
With the fault line,
Doing what they can.
backstab. Exactly, doing what you can, but unfortunately it's not going to be good enough. Even some more damage being done through the smoke. And that was courtesy of Ethan looking for this last kill, but maybe you want to leave it for somebody else. Like Joggable here to build up some more orbs. And EG now leads the map by 5 rounds.
Getting that differential back in their favor. We see Calm Shock Dart almost hitting there. When we saw this Sova from Calm, Sideshow talked about it, that he has some really cool darts. A lot of the times, he'll put it on the brim of a doorway, like right on the ceiling of a door, like right above that smoke, where the light is. Just so it directs your aim up. It actually sees all of sight, and you're not expecting that to come out, right? Instantly taking their aim out of position, and that's when EG's swinging. So these little tricks that they have with all this utility is definitely a way they can keep getting back in these rounds. Again, this satellite play with a little more gusto, though, as they're right into the face of anybody that would be here. It's going to be JZZ.
This is going to be a showstopper off the turret contact. Even you hear the recon dart coming out.
There it is.
There's the first kill. There's...
Big.
Oh, okay, no kill on the second one. Demon still makes it out with 43 HP. Demon-like HP as the Rolling Thunder comes out on the attack. Chosen gets picked off here inside the site. Recon darts even getting pings. And things are not looking good here for MiBR. Another clutch attempt, and it's not going to happen.
Another 3K by Ethan, and I think that's a precedence round that EG knew. And but what I mean by that is JZZ has been over there with FRZ at drop for multiple rounds. They've been trying to make counter plays, so knowing they could possibly see JZZ first, see if that showstopper can do work. Once they found that showstopper and it was gone, instant Rolling Thunder by Ethan. And he's halfway there already.
How?
Ridiculous. Ready to Rolling Thunder again almost. And right into the site. That's why. 3 kills for him. Fist bumps all around. And that, Whew. Look at Demon One's leaning back and he's sitting forward. That's how relaxed they are. My word. A timeout here for MiBR so they can sort some things out, but EG puts the pressure on now, 2 rounds away from making it a 2-0 series.
Yeah, I thought they had a chance so far here, Riv. When we started that pistol round, it looked pretty good for MiBR for the defense.
Potter getting a lot of love. And this is, right, we know timeouts getting called allows both teams to talk. It's imperative you need to speak to your team, but you're also giving that coach the much needed time to rustle up some strats, figure out what they want to play. Did I say rustle up? Okay.
Ruffle the feathers.
Ruffle the feathers with strats. Anyway.
Yeah, this is going to be a very important one, right? Called by here by BZK for MiBR. And we mentioned it like when we had that interview, when he talked about what he wanted to talk about MiBR's performances so far, is realizing and noticing that they're not playing with that much confidence, not synergized going into this game, and are hoping to get it right now. Off this timeout, with these changes, play loose. As Benito was mentioning on the analyst desk, a potential, an opportunity to make this very close against EG if they play loose like they could actually show. They are definitely a team that took a map away here from Loud. Definitely a team that could pull out upsets.
Absolutely.
As they did against Energy. And we need to see that form once again for MiBR.
And this is like the form you want to see from EG as they head to Energy next week as well. Really tough match in that. And they're taking it 1 game at a time. And came to this one ready, even knowing that there was going to be a change last moment. Or I should say not knowing. And they're able to just play their game.
Nice contact play!
No, you got to be kidding me, Van Sitter. When you're playing with shorties, you're expected to be ready. Nobody was ready.
I'm telling you, dude. I keep seeing it on broadcast, but my shorties don't do that.
Ever.
You got stunned, you have a long distance out of that.
8 shots body, 2 shots head, 144. Every time.
Okay.
Every time. Here we are from Canteen as they try to come back in. Just 3 members as EG look to put this series on game point with 5 in sight.
Going to be very difficult, though, for MiBR. You have such a lower buy. Thankfully, you have some sort of headshot coming out from Reeks. And even looking at MiBR, you're trying to contain these players from EG inside this B site. Make it expensive if you're going to try to play the comeback game at EG's map in series point.
Last player
But
standing.
EG now decides to move out of the site. And it's still going to be the Rifles, too strong against the rest of the buy here of MiBR.
Yeah.
Busio with the last kill, doesn't even matter if he dies with the spike. Econ's good. Rounds are good.
Match point.
And it's map and series point for the Evil Geniuses.
EG on cruise control right now, it seems. They just have the flow state between everybody. The comms, the participation on each one of these plays just seems to be outnumbering MiBR every time.
One enemy remaining.
And it's just the way that we kind of saw that approach, right? The kills that Evil Geniuses got there at the last moments were kind of separated for MiBR. They weren't tradable. You know what I mean? A few seconds between each kill means the 1v1s are being won here by EG in that instance. Guns on both sides. The spike is down here for EG. They might kind of expecting a bit of a push round. Look how early this drone is. They're playing it safe, and we're gonna have Boostio come back over. They've switched it up a bit, a triple towards arcade here for MiBR, and they're looking to play full retake with all their guns, really. They only leave one in sight, so JZZ is gonna hold B, which seems interesting. You want to be able to deter somebody with paint shells in some way, but I guess that once you have utility on both sites, they're fine with the killjoy of Chosen being there.
Nice wall bang, though. FRZ continues the fight. Nightfall coming out, but Demon 1 answers back as the orb gets picked up. There's a lot of ults available now for EG.
Yeah.
As they're trying to push this forward, but it's still the Rolling Thunder from FRZ instead. Pushing over, opening the doors towards the A halls. As Joggimo's fighting here towards drop. Gets the first one into FRZ. Orbital sword push Chosen away at 50 HP and opens up the site for EG to get the plant.
Here comes that rotation. Is JZZ... Oh, he's gonna hit... No, not actually hit by it. Lucio's down, but that's the noise that EG's looking for here. 3v2, different sides as they try to take this for MiBR.
That's all the info that EG needed. Already heard Chosen on the top of drop before.
Yeah.
Now with the door opening, it just now becomes a game of cat and mouse. With the clock and the spike ticking down. One more to go. JZZ pushed back by paint shells available off the kill from Joggimo. Fault line that hit him. I think this is it. Last kill coming in for EG as they take over the series against MiBR, continuing their hopes to make it the playoffs.
And Demon 1 tarnishing and dashing those playoff hopes of MiBR with that last frag. No longer in contention for playoff status is MiBR. They face another NA team here for their last week. But it is about EG, and that team is 100 Thieves, sorry. But so 100 Thieves getting that win could be huge as well, as Evil Geniuses is almost trying to match them and then get above them in the standings. Like we talked about, that 4-win group is going to be quite big here, depending on what happens over the next week. And Evil Geniuses came to work today.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This was definitely a different one in how clean it was for EG. A lot of times we won't see them take it as such strong approach to their opponent, but I don't think they wanted to let MiBR set up at all.
Yep.
Build that foundation the desk was looking for. The foundation crumbled. And that pin of Ethan, the pillar of Ethan. Oh man, that held them together the whole time.
Oh yeah. Definitely, you talked about how you don't want to allow MiBR to set up if they're playing for Evil Geniuses, and we saw that on that first map too with Lotus. So lots of different looks that we've seen from this team. Evil Geniuses continuing to improve week after week. And that matchup that you talked about, when they go head-to-head against 100 Thieves next week, it could still be anybody's game. It could still be anybody's series. And it could still be Evil Geniuses with an upset win. I don't even know if we're going to call this an upset win if they beat 100 Thieves, right?
Well, Evil Geniuses is Energy. And then MiBR. Yeah. But still, that would be an upset win. Yeah, exactly. Evil Genius was looking for that one. Potter, very happy here.
Who's happier?
Who's happier?
The crowd.
I don't know, man. I think the crowd is loving it. They get the true fandom. And yeah, everybody was frying today on the side of Evil Geniuses.
Yeah. And I mean, Potter has everything to be happy about, right? One of the pillars, of course, building everything up from Evil Geniuses when it came from the
Well,
beginning.
she forms the top structure.
Exactly. And it's pretty crazy that when you have a core of EG that started off here with Potter, it's not a core of players that has star players, you know? It got built up from the ground up. Then you have star players coming in, and week after week and year after year, now you're starting to see EG perform to what we expect EG to be.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much everyone stepped up, and we see how they're working with the Sova. We're seeing different things from them as well in the way they want to play comps. And we got to see a little bit of Lotus, something they haven't played for a while. So what else does Evil Geniuses have in store?
I'm looking forward to that because that's going to happen next week. Maybe some more things that they could cook up. But coming up, we've got the breakdown from the desk and the Verizon post-match interview. More VCT's Americas.
Double salute. Welcome back to VCT Americas. It is time for the Verizon post-match interview. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm joined by Demon1, and I'm getting better at the game right now. Watching today, this guy tear up both maps of Lotus and Fracture was ridiculous. You've been playing actually so well since you've joined the team. What has the support been like from Evil Geniuses so you can produce those results?
Well, it's just like more like the team trusted me. They believe in me. You know, they know what type of a frag power I can bring and like the stuff I do in scrims all the time. You know, they know what I can provide and they're just like here to support me. So they just kind of let me do whatever I want.
What was it about this game that made you want to go forward the whole time? Obviously, Evil Genius is going for the round differential, but every time you saw a Viper wall, that was like the thing to peek in front of and peek again. You seem supported everywhere.
Yeah, so our gameplay game plan for like Lotus is like me just being super aggro, and like that's how we've been practicing in scrims. I'm just like swinging everyone, no one can kill me. So that's just kind of the mentality I have. So I just did that in the match. So nothing changes.
While you're focusing on that, are you kind of adding to the comms, or they just let you focus on the scope?
Normally I like don't comm. I like say like, yo, flash this, or like I just kill people. So.
Well, next week, you're going to have one of the same performances you did today. Energy's going to be, Energy's going to be huge. What are you looking at to make that match yours? Obviously, a lot of people say they're #1 right now, even with an undefeated team.
I think they're a good team, but like, they haven't faced me in a match yet, you know, so good luck, Energy.
Hell yeah. All right, Demon One, thank you so much for the interview. I appreciate it, man. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck moving into playoffs. We are going to throw it back to the desk to break down the day. Don't go anywhere. They got stuff to say.
Indeed we do, Riv. We have a lot to say, especially about that young man, Demon One, after the performance he had coming out of there with the swagger of Johnny Cash. You'll love to see it, man. This guy, Energy's going to have to look out for me. Just the absolute grapefruits on that man. Sideshow's impressive.
I mean, I think my favorite quote was, "No, I don't come too much. I just kill people." that is a based
Well,
jet,
what's the worst
man.
part about this is that Bren's going to hear that interview, and then he's going to be like, oh, wait, I only need to calm for flashes, and that's all he's going to do. He's not going to participate.
Yeah, but also, if you're taking any lesson away from that, it's that you have to be killing people. You have to actually be getting the impact.
Yeah.
Demon One is mechanically very, like in my eyes at least, very unique and really, really, really good. So when you're surrounded by players like Ethan to support him, like on that breach or on the sky, it's going to be easy for him.
Yeah, and that is reflected in the stats. It's reflected in his performance. I mean, everything that Demon One touches has turned into gold. We do have, some more to talk about here. I mean, just even the statistics coming out of this game alone, Sideshow. The man's impact in the server is so profound.
Yeah, along with the rest of his team,
of course.
Demon One absolutely battered MiBR today. So, of course, his stats are going to go absolutely bonkers. But even before this, he's looking like a really talented player up towards the top. He's been a massive addition to the team, too.
Yeah, the firepower is really, really seen and felt in these matches.
And I think that goes without saying. His team obviously setting himself up for so much success, and on top of which he's performing. Because it's one thing to just be given the resources to be able to pull off these incredible plays, but Sideshow, he's not only being given the resources, but he's also playing above and beyond. Do you think that this is a player that can take it to a guy like Artis next week, who's been in this position before?
Yeah, I actually don't think that the mechanical skill is going to be the difference maker whatsoever in that game. Yeah. I think Demon One is absolutely capable enough. What I think might be the possibility is the experience difference, right? Because Demon One is a newer player, and the newer players have actually been doing incredibly well in the Americas region so far. Yeah. Demon One, Jay Rooney for Cloud9 too, they've been performing at a very decent level. Demon One in particular, though, on the duelist has been performing excellently, but I think if NRG have better game plans, better strategies to shut him down, that's where it'll come in. It won't be the fact that they just diff him in terms of aim.
Yeah, for sure. And that whole game is just going to be a massive chess match, and I cannot wait for it. But, when you talk chess, sometimes you just have another person that just bowls right through the board, and that was Ethan. Ethan has been unfreaking believable today. Sideshow, I know you compared him to the core, the Jenga piece that keeps them going in this game, and it is reflected in the score, in what he's provided for EG.
Yeah, it goes crazy again. Ethan's had such a revitalization of his performance as well, I think, really showcasing his absolute peak performance.
Yeah, I think, we can talk all day about Demon One and his mechanics and his op and his jet, but it's the foundation that's built behind him that's setting him up for success.
Ah, good call. Good call. Foundation, kind of like a Jenga piece, huh?
Yeah, I know. I mean, today, this was not Ethan. Today, This was Ethan.
Where'd you get a bigger piece of wood from?
I always have big pieces of wood hanging around.
Okay.
Like tumbling blocks and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. like
Go on, like those.
Like
those,
these blocks of wood.
Those blocks of wood.
Not anything else.
You just happen to have giant blocks of wood on your person at all times?
Yeah, I mean, in the halftime, I
tell.
was thinking about whittling this into a picture of Demon 1.
Our producer Albert just in my ear said we're moving on. Within the first day, though, of Week 7, here it is, guys. Here's the standings. Unfortunately, though, with that loss, MiBR, you can see the red on their name. They are out of playoff contention. Evil Genius's hope is still alive here as they have that plus 20 round differential. They only need one more win to be in that top 6, and they could find it next week against NRG, but Benita, it is a tall task to ask for EG to take down one of the top teams in the region right now. Do you think they have it in them?
I don't know. I'm probably NRG fan number 1, so I'm gonna have to go.
So that's it. Your allegiance has gone
so
away.
sorry.
It went from, oh man, I really like this EG team to, boys, wrap it up.
I mean, the mad part is that they can still lose that game, though, and slip their way into playoffs.
This is true.
There could be some crazy tiebreakers at 4 and 5. And part of that is going to be based on the games that you see here. You know, NRG playing against Loud, for example.
Exactly. You have Sentinels versus Crew tomorrow to kick off the show. Lots of wild things to discuss there as far as Sentinels and Crew are concerned. And then, obviously, the match that you do not want to miss. Literally. It's just so freaking good. Every time you see it, it's NRG taking on Loud. And Josh, thanks. Just really like the sound.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do it the other way, though, could I? It'll all fall over.
No, unless you have the skill. Nah, it didn't work. Benita, you had fun today?
I had so much fun. Thank you.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you here. And, of course, Benita's going to be joining us all throughout the weekend. Sideshow's going to be here as well. I will be here, too, unfortunately. But that is going to do it for us here today. It's been an absolute blast. And we thank you so much for tuning in. But don't worry, because tomorrow, as I said before, Sentinels versus Crew, Loud versus NRG. Literally the stuff you live for if you're a VALORANT esports fan. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. This week, it's North America versus South America in 5 crucial matchups. For the Brazilians, you need 1 and you're in. For the North Americans, they need 1 to simply stay alive in the season.
QCK, same spot! Oh gosh, there's still so much damage from the same place! They return to the scene of the crime! A 1v1, the snap is there, but it's just MW playing the game of chicken, daring him to get off the spike! MW with 3, Furia take map 1. Numbers aren't great, but this is winnable! He's gotten into a 1v1, he's stunned, patient, waiting, daring to swing around! And the snap onto DG's a Red Bull clutch! Everyone stacked up off of the flash.
Oh, there's a Molly. They're seized in the Molly.
Stellar does not care. Stellar does not care. That's the map. 13-7 in favor of 100 Thieves. And we're going the distance. We were a sitting duck. They're not in a place where they can get spammed. A 1-for-1. The code providing cover. And Mazin's going to get the defuse. With very little to go in front of them. They're just looking to farm up the last couple, and he does. 13-11, a 2-1 win for 100 Thieves in their season. Their state stays alive.
2 teams desperately fishing for wins, but for 2 different reasons. For MiBR, it's about keeping yourself alive in this season. For EG, it's about establishing yourself as a playoff competitive team.
Aftershock to push him back. Ethan just battling on his own son at the rubble. Gets the headshot and somehow a second one too. Nice!
Nice, boys.
Shorty inside the smoke just to clear out the sights. There's only 1 left. Oh my god. Easily cleaned up by Calm once again to 3rd into the round. With that timing here, does get the first down.
Wait a minute.
What? And a Red Bull clutch. And as we have a dominating performance from EG, they win the first map 13-2. Forcing now Moody. Aiming down the side, there's the first kill. He gets it to peak. And another 2 versus 1 that comes in favor of MiBR. MiBR are moving up to try to take control of Heaven. Whoa! On a different level. Reload for a 4th kill. I was cheating! 2 riflers from MiBR to try to turn around back in their favor. And already we've lost one of those rifles. EG take over the series against MiBR, continuing their hopes to make it the playoffs.